There we go. Okay, yes, welcome to our class tonight. The theme for this evening is meals in a flash and more. So many people decide to invest in a Thermomix to save them time. Definitely a great lifestyle choice. So that is why we put together this class this evening, so that we could show you some of our favorite dishes that save time in the kitchen. Each of the consultants cooking tonight chose what they wanted to present to you. So we're going to have a little bit of fun. Some of the other reasons why people do choose to invest in a Thermomix are to save money and to create healthy dishes, to be a little bit more gourmet in the kitchen. Some people don't know how to cook, so that they use the Thermomix. Others love cooking and they're already creating awesome things, and then they get the Thermomix to help them go that step further, because lots of chefs use the Thermomix as well. So yes, we have other classes. If you're interested in some of the classes we've run, we have recorded them all, so you can ask your consultant for those recordings on the different themes. So yes, if you want to put your view on speaker view, you'll make sure you see the presenter. It should be the default anyway, but just mentioning in case if you're on gallery where you see all the squares, that's gallery view. The other one is speaker view, where you can mainly just see me right now. That will be how you see all the presenters. And don't worry about taking notes, because we are going to email the recipes out to you all tomorrow, and a few other things. If anyone has any questions along the way, please feel free to put them in the chat. Us consultants will do our best to answer your questions along the way. So to get started, I'm actually going to throw over to the lovely Penny. So I will ask Penny to come off mute.
Hi. Hi everyone. Tonight I'm going to do the chicken teriyaki, but this afternoon I decided that I probably wanted to eat it with some rice or some noodles or something like that. So I decided that I'd try a new way with rice, because sometimes I cook my main and then I have to put it in a thermoserver and cook my rice. But did you know that you can actually cook your rice in the thermoserver? So I'm going to show you something really cool. So I've just got 2.6 litre thermoserver. This is the black one that was a special. And what I've put in the bowl was 250 grams of rice with 480 grams of boiling water. And I cooked it on Varoma temperature for 5 minutes on speed 1. And what I'm going to do is pop it into my thermoserver. I'll just move my screen so you can see. And I'm just going to sit this for 25 minutes while my main is cooking. And you'll be surprised, it's actually pretty amazing. So it looks kind of a bit gluggy and not cooked at the moment. I don't know if you can see that, it's just a bit gluggy. So I'm going to sit that aside, pop the lid on, and we'll come back to that. So the beauty of having two bowls is I've now got a brand new clean bowl, and we're going to do the chicken teriyaki. So I actually already made this once tonight for dinner for the kids, so we'll start again. So this one comes from the Skinny Mixes collection that's come out on Cookie Doo recently. I don't know if you can see that, sorry. I'll just move you a bit closer to the machine. It's a really nice, quick and easy dish to make. So we're going to pop in some olive oil. So 10 grams of olive oil. Oops, that's double, hang on. And then we're going to pop in 250 grams of chicken thigh fillets, skinless chicken thigh fillets cut into strips. So I pre-cut them. And then we're going to use the high heat function for this. So we are going to take off our measuring cup, pop our lid on, and then pop our splash guard on. And it's going to cook for 5 minutes on high heat. So this is really cool. For those of you who have the TM6, I don't know if you've used this function yet or not, but it's amazing. And for those of you with the TM5 or the TM31, the sound that this makes when it's cooking is just so cool. It's so much different from the other two machines. So Laura, it cooks for about 5 minutes. So if you wanted to jump to someone else, I'm happy for you to do that.
So there's just a question in the chat. Did you heat up the thermo server before you put the rice in there?
No, I didn't. No, it was just a cold thermo server.
Yeah, good to know. Okay. Oh, and we will give the recipe. Someone's asking for the rice instructions. We'll put that in tomorrow's email as well. So thanks, Penny. Next is actually me. I'm going to be showing you a beef noodle dish, which is on Cookie Dough. I'm just going to move, if you don't mind the clunkiness, for 2 seconds. Oh, I need to just put this onto me. Okay, so I am making this beef noodles recipe, and I want to just move it closer to the screen so you can see what I am doing. It is in my weekly planner for today, so I'm just coming into there. I'll press, oh, I don't want to continue, I want to start it. It's because I looked through the recipe earlier, it was at the very end. Start again. Okay. So what I did, I've already marinated the meat, but I just want to show you how to do that. This, because some recipes ask to do this and you may not know what to do. It asks to place a bowl on top, and then you're weighing the meat into there because that's to marinate and save that for later. So the scales come up, you can see that on the screen, and you set that aside for later. So the next few screens is just asking for soy sauce, a little bit of sugar, some corn flour and sesame oil, and you mix it all together. I don't know if you can see that, but I just did that like 5 minutes ago. So that's just sitting aside there. And then it asks to cook the noodles as per the packet instructions. So yep, we'll do that. Okay, now it is asking me to add in thinly sliced onion. And for those who know me, I am a lazy cook and I don't do things by hand. So if you want it to look pretty, add in your thinly sliced onion as the recipe says. I'm just going to add in a whole onion and get the Thermomix to chop it for me. And now it's asking to add some ginger. So I will put that in. And it says to have that in julienne. But like I said, I'm just going to let the Thermomix do that for me. So I am going to quit out of the recipe for a second to chop that. So I'm going to do that on speed, maybe speed 6, just for like 2 or 3 seconds. Maybe 1 second, because I could hear that it was done. So let me show you what we have there. Onion is all nicely, and it smells delicious, by the way. The onion and the ginger is all nicely chopped there. I will scrape it down, and let's just pretend I've added in thinly sliced onion and julienne ginger. And to get back to the recipe, just press this green bookmark, and we're back to where we were. So it asks me to add some oil. I always use extra virgin olive oil. But you just use whatever you want. Now it's asking us to add the reserved marinated beef. If you have time ahead in the day, like in the morning or the night before or whatever, you can have that beef marinating ahead of time. You don't have to do that on the night because this recipe takes 10 minutes once you've got that marinated beef. It tells me to put the lid on. Press next and go. Now I've got 5 minutes to get my noodles arranged. So I have put my noodles just from the Asian section in the supermarket here. And I like to cook those. You can cook those on the stove or whatever. The recipe just says to cook as per packet instructions. So, but I love doing it in the thermo server because it just cooks really nicely. I'm just pouring the boiling water over the top. Just water from the kettle, or I ended up using the Thermomix. pop the lid on. Oh, can you see? It's just covered the water. Pop the lid on, and that takes, the packet says 6 to 8 minutes. So that'll be, by the time the beef is ready, the noodles will be ready. So this is really a 10-minute dinner. So let me just see if Penny's ready for us. Back to her.
Hey Laura, yes I am. So it's just finished. So what I'm going to do is, so that's cooked my chicken. I'm just going to take that out and pop the chicken into another thermoserver. So it wants us to leave the juices in the bowl. So I'll just pull all the chunks of chicken out. I can't believe how nice this actually smells. It's just chicken cooked, some oil. So there's a little bit of caramelization on the bottom of the bowl. So I'm just going to give the bowl a scrape. I think that's the next step anyway. So scrape the base of the mixing bowl with the spatula. So I'm just going to, I don't know, sorry if you can see that. So I'm just using the spatula just to give it a bit of a scrape, and that's good. And then we're going to pop in 30 grams of echallots cut into slices. Now, I didn't buy echallots today, I just used brown onion. But unlike Laura, I actually did cut my onion into slices. But I probably shouldn't have bothered. So 30 grams of onion, 100 grams of red capsicum, de-seeded.
Can I say
Oops, bit over. 50 grams of carrots, so julienne carrots. And I've got a little helper who's standing behind me. I don't know if you can hear him. And 30 grams of snow peas, which it appears some of my children have eaten. I have 3. So I'll throw in some extra capsicum and carrot. And then 120 grams of broccoli florets. Which is a little bit over. And then I'm going to throw in 20 grams of olive oil. Shh, Thomas. And then we're going to use the splash guard again. And it's going to cook the veggies for 5 minutes. So Laura, if you want to come back to me again, I'm happy for you to do that.
No problems at all. Yeah, my beef just has 1 more minute and then it's ready for the next step. So that's really good timing. So there's so many recipes on Cookie Doo that you can, and recipe community, and just around the place that can help you save time in the kitchen. Tonight we're focusing a little bit more on the main dishes, although we do have some desserts to show you a little bit later as well. But there are, the breakfasts save you time as well, the snacks. You can just do anything. I make, you can pre-make and just put things in the freezer, or you can do everything fresh because it's that quick. I usually spend about 5 to 10 minutes getting dinner ready each night, and the rest is, while the Thermomix is cooking, I can leave the kitchen. So it really just saves so much time, which is just great for your lifestyle. I don't know what I would do without my Thermomix now. I've had my Thermomix for 10.5 years, and I actually only became a consultant because I wanted to earn my Thermomix. I didn't want to pay for it. And the deal was, and still is, if you sell 6 Thermomixes, that's your own Thermomix. And once I started, I just kept going because I'm out there sharing how much I love the Thermomix with people in the community, and I just believe everyone should see it. Whether you buy it or not is your own, decision, and I'm great either way, but I just think everyone should see it. So that's why I am still a consultant. I love it so much. Okay, let me show you what I've got here. I hope you can see it. I better pull some up. So it just says to stir with the spatula to ensure even cooking, but it looks very, slippery. It looks great to me and it smells delicious, that beef in the ginger and onions. So, and then there's only 5 more minutes. So this really is only a 10-minute recipe. So it's asking me for dark soy sauce. There is a difference between dark and light. The dark soy sauce is very molassesy and often you just use a little bit of that. It's great for color and that richness of flavor. And then we're going to add a tablespoon of the light soy sauce. The light soy sauce is a bit sweeter. It's more what people are used to eating with soy sauce. So it's got a yummy flavor. And what's next? Oh yeah, just some salt. I don't often add further salt because there's a lot in the soy sauce. Now it's asking for some spring onions, which I did slice by hand because they look pretty when they're nice and round. But you can do it in the Thermomix too. Some bean sprouts. And it's asking for chives. I hate chives. I don't like them. I'm using basil because I think beef, basil go nicely together. And my husband likes basil, so that's good. And this is not in the recipe, but anything I do in the Thermomix, I love adding veggies into. So I've got a nice big board of pak choy. It's choy sum actually. I usually use pak choy and they didn't have any. That is going in. And just to show you how full we are here, that's what we've got happening in the Thermomix. 5 minutes more. And this is going to be ready. So let me just turn that on and cut to Penny. Sorry we're doing 2 dishes at once. I hope that's not too confusing for you. I will also send out the recording tomorrow. So if you missed anything or was confused by anything, you can catch it up again on that recording. So where are you? Penny, are you ready for us?
Mine still have 50 odd seconds to go. So
Cool. Maybe you want to tell us what you love about being a Thermomix consultant. I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, you are putting me on the spot. I love you guys, all my team.
Yeah.
I love meeting new people and showing them what the Thermomix can do for them in their kitchen. I used to be a packet and jar cook before I got my Thermomix, and I can't bring myself to cook from packets or jars anymore. Just the different flavors. I made my son a birthday cake a couple of years ago out of a packet and I could taste the plastic in it, which really put me off. Yeah, I love everything about it. So if anyone wants to join us, we have such a cool team. Laura's an awesome team leader. Okay, so my veggies are done. So that was 5 minutes on high heat. And we're just going to transfer them into the same bowl that the chicken is in. And try and show you. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. Probably not, but don't mind my messy kitchen behind me. I'm just going to throw that all in there. Scrape the last couple out. Okay. Sorry, I'm bouncing my screen around. So again, we're going to scrape the base of the mixing bowl just to get that caramelization off, and there's actually not a lot there. Do not clean the mixing bowl. Who loves those words? Okay, so we're going to pop in 10 grams of fresh ginger, and I've just got some ginger. I haven't sliced it, I haven't done anything with it. 10 grams of garlic cloves, again, whole cloves. How massive is that clove? It's huge. A little bit short, but that's okay. And then we're going to pop the lid on with the measuring cup. And we're going to chop that on speed 7. Now, because the bowl is so hot, it's just going to take a little second to start up. I'm just going to scrape down the sides of my bowl. So garlic and ginger all chopped. I don't know if you can see that, my light's pretty bad. But it's amazingly fine. And our next step, so we're going to pop in 70 grams of tamari. I'm sure if you don't have that, you can just use normal soy sauce. This is good because it's gluten-free. Then we're going to pop in 30 grams of honey. Two teaspoons of corn flour. And then we're going to pop in 2 teaspoons of water. And that is going to cook for 3 minutes at 100 degrees on speed 4. You want to flick to someone else, Laura?
Yes, I want to show you what I've got happening here. My beef mixture in here only has 20 seconds to go. So I'm going to strain my noodles that have been cooking in the thermo servo. It's been about 6 or 7 minutes now. I'm going to use my Varoma because I don't have a colander. I just use the Varoma as a colander. So 2 seconds and I'll do that. And then the last step is just to combine everything together, and dinner's ready in 10 minutes of Thermomix time. Add a few minutes for you getting out the ingredients. Let's say 15 minutes of cooking the beef noodles. It's got a fancier name than that, by the way. I can't pronounce it, but I'll put it in the email tomorrow. So there's our noodles, nicely cooked. And I'll show you what we've got here. It smells so good. Like, this is the one downside to virtual classes is you guys don't get to taste it and smell it. But you can recreate it at home and get this goodness. And I'm sure you can imagine it as well. I'm just scraping everything out of Thermomix bowl. That looks great. Put that over there. I want to show you what I've got here. So yes, we've got this lovely, you can see the greens really cooked down, but you can see that beautiful, well, hopefully you can see the beautiful color. We've got the noodles and the beef with all those veggies, ginger, and it's also quite saucy as well, which is kind of shrunk to the bottom of the thermoserver, but definitely, like, this is just a perfect dish texture wise. I think it's absolutely delicious. So there you go for one of our meals in a flash. So I'm going to set that aside. That can go in the thermoserver. The thermoservers keep your food hot for a few hours, 2 to 3 hours, or frozen cold as well. So they're really good to have. Unfortunately, they're not for sale. If anyone wants to get their hands on a thermoserver, you can talk to your consultant about hosting a cooking experience and what that looks like. That could be virtual or in person once isolation is lifted for you. And yeah, there are other options as well for the host rewards, but it is as easy as getting 2 or 3 friends and the consultant comes and does the rest. It's pretty easy. So yes. All right, let's see if Penny's 3 minutes is up. It looks like she's getting close.
Yeah, perfect timing. So that's my sauce done. So it tells us to pour it over the top. So I'm just going to rearrange my kitchen slightly. Okay, so in here we have the veggies and the chicken. I'm just going to Just scrape off the excess sauce that's on the lid. And then I'll pour my sauce. You probably can't see that because I've got my screen too low. And I think my rice should be done too. Have we been going for 25 minutes, Laura?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yes, we have.
Oh, perfect. So my rice should be good.
Perfect.
So we scrape the sauce into the bowl. We give it a stir through the chicken and the veggies. So it's all coated. I love this dish. It's so quick and easy. And if you have everything prepped, you come home from work, you can throw it on. Okay, so that's our chicken and veggies. And then I'll show you our rice. This is so cool. This completely blew me away this afternoon. So my black thermoserve is the rice. Probably really hard to tell on a computer screen, but just get a fork and sort of fluff it up a little bit. And it is perfectly cooked rice. So I'll be happy for me to serve it up, Laura.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. So I'll just pop some rice in. My plating skills are not fantastic, but get it done.
I don't do plating, so.
Where's Yo? Is she doing something tonight? She's really good at this.
Yeah, she's not on tonight.
So our chicken, veggies, some extra sauce. You can pop some coriander on here if you wanted to, but I don't because it's the devil's weed. And you can pop some sesame seeds on. So I'll just sprinkle a few sesame seeds over the top. And that is chicken teriyaki. Hang on, I'll just turn my computer. Can you see that?
Yeah, it looks delicious.
Amazing. That's my dinner. Thanks, guys.
Well done. All right. Thank you so much, Penny.
No worries.
So the only other thing to show you guys how to save time in the kitchen is I've put some water in here and I'm going to go to the pre-clean mode. You press pre-clean and you turn it off and the Thermomix is cleaning itself. And both the TM5 and TM6 have that mode. On the TM31, we can make that happen as well. Just let me know if you want tips on how to make that happen. So now we're going to cut over to Jen, and Jenny is going to cook another awesome, very quick dish for us. Are you there, Jenny?
Hi guys, I am. I hope everybody can see me. I've got terrible lighting in this kitchen. We are going to be doing renovations very shortly, so that's exciting. So who's excited? Footy's back. Life is getting back to normal. This is not my team, so don't hate on me if you don't like Parramatta. This is my son's team, so I'm supporting him tonight because, and I'd support the others too if their team, the Tigers, were playing. But yeah, we've got to go for Para tonight. So I'm going to be making chicken and sweet corn soup. So it's a family favourite of ours, and I've tried a million different recipes over the years, and I absolutely love this one. And this one's out of the everyday cooking for Thermomix families. So you can find that on Cookie Do. You can just go in onto your Cookie Do and scroll for that. But if you have got the cookbook and the chip, because that's how it did come out before, you'll be able to find this recipe in there as well. So this is our after or before footy, like after footy training dinner when we are time pressed and everything like that. So I can just literally walk in, throw a few things in the Thermomix, get the kids into the shower, and they've got dinner or a snack, or after on the weekends. Like, this is a great weekend lunch. So I'm going to take the camera off me now and just shoot it back down to the Thermomix. I hope everybody can see this. And we're just going to hit start cooking. So what the biggest prep here is actually peeling the ginger. Now, if you have a Thermomix, you can actually chop your ginger and make a ginger paste, but I've just got some ginger pieces in here. Now you'll see some garlic. Because it is winter, I just have this thing, I need to add garlic to everything. So I've got 3 little baby cloves of garlic. That's just going in there like that. Tapping next, can everybody see that screen? And putting the lid on, tapping next, and we're just going to chop that for 2 seconds. And that's done. Now we tap next, and with the spatula, we are going to take that down. Now what I'll show you is, I hope you can see, I've got my light there. That's our ginger and garlic chopped 2 seconds. So the next step that we do is add in an onion or shallots. Oops, I've just lost half of it here. Now again, it says 120 grams. I just grabbed a medium onion and I just chopped it into quarters. In actual fact, I don't know what I was thinking. I could have just done a half. And pop the lid on. Tap next, and turn, sorry, what am I doing? Here we go, and chopping for another 2 seconds. Finish that one. Now with the spatula, just scrape down the bowl, just to push all those goodies down in the bottom. Now, I will quickly show you that as well. There's our onion chopped. Now, I'll be really honest, if I was at home, I would just chop the onion and the garlic and the ginger all at once, and I'd just do it twice. So I wouldn't stop for that middle step because I'm a bit lazy. So now we're going to tap next again, and 3 teaspoons of olive oil. Now we just guesstimate, and I think that's about enough. I don't want to be messing around on a Friday night with teaspoons and anything like that. If you are a perfectionist, yes, of course you can do that. Popping our lid back on again, tapping next. And this is actually going to saute now for 2 minutes at 120 degrees on speed 1. Now, while that does that, I'll just give you, tell you a few little things about this. So I have been a consultant now for 9 odd years, and what I love about the team is, like, our team is just awesome. I love that you can actually become a consultant and earn your machine. I've got 3 machines on my bench here today. I've got a TM31, a TM5 and a TM6, and I have 2 TM6s and another TM5. Oh, sorry, I have 1 more TM6 and a TM5 as well that I've earned by being a consultant. So all up, 5 machines. I'm pretty excited about that, and I love that I'm looking on the screen here, and I don't know how to use this laptop properly, but I can see like half a dozen of my customers on here. And when I say customers, I actually mean friends, because they have become beautiful friends and friendships. And I love that everybody's getting inspired to use the Thermomix through this COVID time, and using this. I keep saying a lot. I picked that up last week. I've got to drop that. But anyway, through this online and platform. So by being able to use Zoom, so I'm absolutely loving it. I get really nervous. For somebody who loves to talk, I get so nervous. Now, I just want to tell you one thing about this. With this recipe, it says that you can chop corn kernels off the cob. Like, nobody has time for that. If you do, and if you love fresh corn off the cob, absolutely go for it. But I just used a tin of corn kernels. Now, another little addition that I do with this recipe as well is I blitz a can of corn, or in this particular instance, we had some creamed corn. I just like to add in some creamed corn at the end of this cooking time, just to thicken it. And I can cook it a little bit longer, but it's usually hot enough. My family likes a really thick soup. Not saying that this one's watery, but it just thickens it up. So if you like that, go for it. I'm going to just jump back to the recipe. So we tap next, and that has been sauteed. Now, what I've done here is I've got some water, so we're just going to tear that off because I took the lid off, and we're putting in 1.2 litres of water. So you could just use the kettle and add the water. I've just got a little jug here, and of course for this recipe I've pre-measured, but normally I wouldn't even bother. And we tap next. Now, veggie stock paste is going in. Now this is our vegetable stock paste. When we deliver a Thermomix or pre-social distancing, we would make this vegetable stock paste with you. This lasts for 6 months, up to 6 months. In the fridge, you'll go through it quicker than that. But this is beautiful. Just fresh veggies and herbs go into our stock paste. So no artificial preservatives or anything like that. And you'll see, obviously, any owners will have made that with their consultant, whether it was virtually or whether or not it was done face to face. So 2 tablespoons of veggie stock paste goes in there. Now tamari, and we already spoke about, Penny mentioned tamari is gluten free, so we've got 50 to 70 grams. I've just pre-measured that. I think I've got about 65 grams. Tapping next, and we're going to grab the chicken. What did I do with the chicken? Sorry guys. Okay, I'm back. So all I've got here, now I did have time today to chop up some chicken breast. This is chicken breast, 500 grams of chicken breast. Now again, if we're meals in a flash, you can actually buy the pre-sliced, I noticed it at Aldi today, pre-sliced stir-fried chicken. So you can pop that in. Now, if you would like to use thigh, you're welcome to use thigh, but this recipe does call for the chicken breast, but I've used both in the past, just whatever you have on hand. And I've got a little bit more than a kilo there, half a kilo, but we'll just stick through. Now we pop the lid back on. Now this is going to cook this time for 10 minutes, and then at the end of the 10 minutes, I'm going to add those corn kernels, and we are going to cook for another 8. But I'm not going to pop back just to show you me tipping corn kernels in. So we're just going to roll with the next presenter. So thank you very much, and I'll come back and show you when I'm about to plate up. Okay. Oopsie.
Thanks so much, Jen. Let me just put you on mute. Okay, so now I am going to show you another recipe which I made earlier today to save time for both the class's sake but also my sake. I took a video of it and I'm going to show you that now. So this is me, like, I don't know, 2 hours ago. So let me share that, and you can ask questions in the chat or afterwards as well, and you can see how I make a one-pot pasta. Okay, I'm just going to show you now how we make one of my favourite types of dishes. It's the one-pot pasta meals where everything's just in the Thermomix bowl and that's it. So I am making my family's dinner right now. I'm just going to move the camera down here. You can see it is the creamy chicken sun-dried tomato pasta. So I will just press start. Lid here. I might just move you a little closer so you can see here. Yeah, oh, it doesn't. I don't need to weigh the onion, but it's just asking me to put in the onion. I'm just putting in the onion whole. It's kind of small anyway, but oh, hey, that was perfect. I've got a giant garlic clove, so it says 2, but 1 is great when it's that big. Here I've just got some herbs from the garden. I've got some oregano and basil. So the recipe asks for parsley and basil, but I don't have parsley at the moment, and we prefer oregano anyway. So that's all going in. And I've got a whole tiny red chili without the seeds. The seeds are what my kids cannot handle. Got some sun-dried tomatoes here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Yeah. Some butter. Easy going in. I love how the scales just come up. You don't need to measure anything. So it's telling me to put the lid on. So this is going to ask me to chop. Oh, look what happens when you're following a recipe and recording at the same time. I've got 2 other ingredients here that I want to add. So anytime I can, I try and sneak extra veggies into the meal. Even though my kids are pretty good at eating a side salad, it's also good just to sneak some in. So I'm going to add in a zucchini and a red capsicum, because those those flavours go pretty well in a pasta like this. So, yeah, what I'm all about to chop, everything that you already saw me put in, but I'm also just going to add honey and the capsicum. So my bowl is like pretty full of veggies and herbs right now. And the screen just tells me what to do. So it's saying to do the speed on speed 7 and to go for 5 seconds. So I'm just going to turn this up and go. Okay. Tells me to click next. And all it wants me to do, I'm going to show you this first before I do though. Everything is just super chopped, nice and fine, ready to be the sauce for our pasta. If you just want to follow the recipes, just do that. This is just my own little way of adding in veggies. You can see there's a lot in there. So I've scraped down the sides. It's telling me to now I'm just going to turn this. It's because we're in preset for 3 minutes at 100 degrees and speed 1. And while those 3 minutes are going, you can multitask. So here's what I would do normally, is come and press these 3 dots. And here it says recipe detail. And you can scroll down to see what's next. So it's telling me next I need my chicken and cream and some water and wine and the paste. So I am going to spend these 3 minutes while the onion and veggies all saute to chop up my chicken and get my other ingredients out. And since that's quite boring to watch, I'm just going to pause the recording and I'll see you in 2 seconds and my chicken will magically be chopped. Okay, you can see I just pressed unpause because this is about to beep at me and I've chopped the chicken and also got out some of my other ingredients that I'm going to need. So, press next. 3 minutes goes fast. And I need to just add in the chicken now. So I've got it here on my board that you just grab the handle and it all goes in the bowl. It fits perfectly in. This is, you can get this on the board. And now it's asking me for some cream. Just normal cream goes in. The scales go up in 1 gram increments, so you can see really accurately the ingredients that you're putting in, although it doesn't matter if you go a little bit over or under in a dinner type recipe. You more need to watch that when you're baking so that things work out perfectly. Okay, it's asking me for some water. And that's to cook the pasta in, because this is the type of recipe where you make the sauce first and then when it's nice and hot, you add the dry pasta into the bowl and it all just cooks. Okay. Our water and some wine. If you don't like to cook with wine, this is just the cheap, I think it's $4 from Aldi. It's nothing fancy. But if you don't like to cook with wine, you can use grape juice or apple juice, or just some extra water and stock. It's just flavour and also the liquid. So if you're not using wine, make sure you make it up with some other kind of liquid. Apple juice is quite good. Next, oh, I want to show you this. I haven't pre-measured it. I've just grabbed it out of my freezer. You can see the cold condensation on the side. This is my veggie stock paste. And because of the salt content in it, it's just made from veggies, herbs, and quite a bit of salt. But because of that salt in it, it doesn't freeze hard. So you can just scoop it straight out of the freezer. Because I'm using my own homemade stock, I know that 100% of this meal is homemade by me, and I know exactly what my family are eating without having to worry about looking at additives and preservatives in foods that you're buying. So I love making my own stock. This is about 3/4 full. It makes a lot, and you just store it in the freezer or the fridge. It lasts for months. in there, so you can use it whenever you need it. So that's the stock. And it's telling me just to put the lid on. And to go. So this is going to cook for 10 minutes at 100 degrees. It's on, let me see if you can see this. It's on reverse and on the very slowest speed option, which is basically just wooden spoon stirring. So on reverse, the blades are blunt. So definitely not chopping your food. We've got the chicken in there, so we don't want that chopped. It's just going very slowly. So once that's heated up, I will add the pasta. So now I've spent maybe 5, 6, 7, depends how long it takes you to do the meal prep at this point. But now I'm free to leave the kitchen and go do whatever else I need in the house. So I actually have a load of washing I need to pull out of the wash. I was late getting it in today, so I can go do that while this cooks. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I just heard my little do-do-do-do ding, so I am going to show you what we have. If the lights are red, that means it's hot. Well, it's not really that interesting to see at this point. I don't even know if you can without me pouring it out. It's just a nice big orange liquidy texture. If I give it a stir, I can tell. I wouldn't normally do this. I'm just kind of wanting to show you. Yeah, it's all cooking away nicely, and then nothing else needing to be done. So I'll press next. Now it's pasta. You can probably use different kinds if you want. The cooking time. So I normally do because then we eat it straight away. If I was leaving it in the server to eat later, I'd probably do less because it continues a little bit. Oh, just give it a very little, not really needed, but just make sure all the pasta is a bit submerged. It's just something I like to do. Press next. And on we go. So now it's telling me to select the time depending on my pasta. It's preset to 7 minutes, 100 degrees, reverse speeds up, but I am going to change this up to 10 minutes. And the message says for a long time, but up to 3 minutes if necessary, until pasta is al dente. So if you're new to cooking pasta in Thermomix, it may take some trial and error. My kids don't like al dente. They want it cooked like the Italians wouldn't like it. But that is my family. So I'm going to turn this up an extra few minutes so it's, the pasta is soft by the time it is cooked. And I'll show you the result in a second. Just here that Thermomix is about to finish. So I thought I'd unpause. Okay. Singing out to me. Just be careful when you remove the lid when it's hot. And I like to put it upside down so I don't make a mess on my bench. Just whatever. And we have here. The best way to show it to you is if I pour it. But we've got our pasta all cooked, ready to eat. It's a very saucy recipe, so I am going to put it in the thermo server for a few minutes to let it thicken up before I serve it out to the family. Normally I do just serve it straight out of the bowl. I just get my spoon and pour it straight in, but unless we're eating later, and then I would have it in a thermo server, which keeps the food hot for a few hours. So just getting everything out of here, making sure I scrape the whole bowl, nothing's left, and there is our dinner. Sorry if you can hear my kids in the background yelling at each other. So I'm just going to give it a stir, and I want to just show you this texture. It's very even throughout. It's nice and saucy and creamy. We've got the pasta is cooked like, can I get a piece? Just perfectly. I would say the chicken is still nicely formed in its cubes. We've got the hidden veggies just totally obliterated in there. You can see the flecks of red for the sun-dried tomatoes and probably some of the capsicum, which you could just tell your kids there's more sun-dried tomatoes. The zucchini is totally gone. Can't really see that. There's the flecks of the herbs in there anyway. So that is our pasta. One pot pasta ready to go, and there's other one pot pasta meals on Cookie Doo or Recipe Community and just around. So check those out as well. But really quick to make because it only takes a few minutes of your own time, and the rest of the time is you elsewhere in the house doing whatever else you need or want to do. So, okay, I will end this recording. Okay, so, and then I just pulled this out of the thermoserver while that video was going because I wanted to show you, it only takes a minute to thicken up like this. The texture, I gotta pull it up. The texture just becomes a nice thick, creamy pasta texture. So, yes, okay, so another meal in minutes. Okay, we are going to go over to Nadia now, who's going to show us something so quick and so awesome that can save you so much time in the Thermomix. I'm just going to find her. Are you there, Nadia? You're there. Yeah, yeah, it's a bit quiet, but yep.
Now can you hear me? I guess I'm just automatically being a bit quieter because I'm holding my baby. So it'll be interesting making coleslaw. But my name's Nadia. I've been with Thermomix for 1.5 years now, and I'm just going to show you how to make coleslaw in literally minutes. So I'll turn it this way. If you can see. And just to show you, for those that haven't seen a TM6, but if you swipe the main screen, you can go to the search engine of Cookie Doo. And I'm just gonna look up coleslaw in the search bar. And the one I'm choosing is the first one that comes up. Start cooking. So it asks for 100 grams of carrot, cut into pieces. So I've just got big chunks of carrot. Adding those in, roughly 100. Next is 1 green apple, just cut into quarters. And then we've got, it does say 50 grams of red onion, but we don't like raw onion, so I'm choosing to do celery. So I've just, again, roughly chopped that into big pieces. Then 200 grams of cabbage, large pieces. A pinch of salt. And then pepper and 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Now for those, you may not know that you can make your own mayonnaise in the Thermomix in under 5 minutes. So that's another quick, fast side dish. You just need an oil of your choice, some vinegar, salt, and eggs, and your Thermomix will make your mayonnaise from scratch. So I'll just add that. And then put the lid on. Got my spatula ready. 2 seconds on speed 4. Give it a quick scrape. And again, put the lid on. Again, depending on the consistency or texture, if you really want them fine, you just keep chopping. for longer, or if you want bigger pieces, you just do it for less. I might go for one more time. It does say repeat if necessary. Go back actually. Just that's a bit rough. And there's your coleslaw. So it does all of the fine chopping for you. So I don't have to stand there doing it, especially if you're serving for a large crowd at a barbecue. If you need to make a bulk lot of coleslaw, again, you just do it again. So I'll just pop it in the thermal serve. If you're going to a party or a barbecue, you can put it again in the thermal serve, and it will keep cold for up to 2 hours, but that's it. One of the fastest side dishes, especially if you don't want to fine chop every vegetable. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Nadia. I love making a quick salad. And there are other chopped salads you can do as well. The beetroot's my family's favorite, pink salad. Even if you're just ordering takeout on one of those crazy nights, at least you can just whip up a quick salad and you've got something healthy to go on the side of whatever you're getting. But we always make the salads in the Thermomix for our barbecues or just to go on the side of dinner, just yummy extra veggies. So thanks for sharing that. Definitely a good time-saving dish you can do in the Thermomix. I think Jen's ready to show us her soup, so I will move you over to her, and then we're going to move to some desserts. Hey, Jen. I don't think she's ready for us. I don't think she can hear us.
There we go. I'm off mute now. All right. So I've just got my phone here trying to shine a little bit of light on this. But you can see we've got that lovely cooked chicken, 15 minutes of cooking, and we've got the corn in there. Now, because I've taken out this bowl of soup. So what I normally do is take out a little bit and then add in my creamed corn, because obviously we need to monitor that we're not going over the recommended amount in the bowl, but obviously this is fine. You can see there we've got this lovely chicken and corn soup. The bowl's really hot, but can you guys see that? Does that look good? Okay, excellent. So that's it, all done. You just garnish it with a little bit of chopped spring onion there, all done. And if you do want to, as I said, add some extra veg, you can always do that as well, or you can now just pop in some creamed corn, and that will really give that nice thick soup if that's what you're after. Thank you very much, and hope I didn't blind anybody there. And thanks for watching.
Great, thanks so much, Jen. Okay, so we've shown a few different dishes that can save you a lot of time in the kitchen for dinner time, and we also wanted to showcase some desserts. So I'm going to ask if Lisa's ready. I think she is. She's been waiting to show you all this.
Just unmuting myself there. Hi, I'm Lisa. I'm going to do a pear and almond tart. So pears are in season at the moment, so this dish takes very little planning because almost everything will be a staple in your pantry. Let's move down here. I've got a stand this time, so hopefully my phone won't fall. So I downloaded this recipe to Cookie Do from Cookie Do on my phone earlier. I go to my week, and there it is ready for me. Click on start. Come on. There we go. Start cooking. Preheat oven to 180, which I've done. And our 25 centimetre ceramic pie dish has been greased already. So now 100 grams of blanched almonds, 100 grams of sugar, caster sugar, 1 tablespoon of plain flour. I have baker's flour, and lid on. So this will be on speed 5 for 10 seconds. There we go. And then we're going to just transfer this into a bowl, and we'll come back to this piece a little bit later. There we go. That's all we pretty much need to do. 80 grams of unsalted butter. It's stuck. Okay, that worked out well. And into the measuring cup and lid. And this is speed 2 for 1 minute, and we'll come up to speed 90. Well, I'm sorry, temperature of 90. While that's happening, I'm going to slice up our pears. And this is just 1/2 centimetre thickness. Just 2 pears are always needed for this dish. Okay. Okay, almost done there. 8 seconds left. And there we are. Hit our next key. We're adding 2 eggs, adding 50 grams of milk, oh, a little bit over, gosh, and vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon, that's a half, here's a teaspoon. That's a pinch. 50 grams of plain flour. There's 50 there. And our reserved mixture of the almond mixture. All in. The lid's back on. And 5 seconds on speed 4. This is pretty much it. And now we're pouring the batter into our dish. So you can see, even if you're surprised with some visitors after dinner, or even people dropping around to watch the football now that it's... This takes just a few minutes to whip up. What we're going to do now is arrange our peeled and cut pear around the tray, or our dish. Making a lovely pattern for you guys, especially tonight. Okay, a dollop of a few more bits of butter. It'll tell me. Sprinkle with the remaining 20 grams of our butter. And with a sprinkle of brown sugar. And that's our dish prepared. We're going to put it in the oven for 25 minutes on 180 degrees. And because this is such a simple dish, I was able to make one earlier. This is what it looks like when you grab it out of the oven. Serve that up with a bit of cream. And that's dessert taken care of. How quick and easy was that?
That looks delicious.
Thank you. I'm so proud of it.
I wish we lived closer. Okay, thank you so much, Lisa. And we are going to go to Rhonda now for another super quick dessert. I'm just finding where she is so I can pin her. Hey, Rhonda.
Hi. How is everybody? I've got a super quick, easy dessert, something that could even go on side with Lisa's lovely cake, which I've made that before. It is so yum. I've got banana ice cream or nice cream. So we're talking about something that's only going to take a few seconds to make, and there's no added sugars. And it's also a great one for anyone with dairy allergies. So there's so many ice creams you can make in the Thermomix. But the other good thing about this recipe, banana ice cream, nice cream, I'm just going to press start, is actually in imperial. But that doesn't matter because my machine's going to measure whether it's imperial or metric. I just have to follow the numbers. So instead of in grams, it's telling me 17.5 ounces. I've just got my frozen banana already chopped up, just waiting to put in for you in my thermo server. So everyone's used it to keep things hot tonight, but I'm using mine to keep it cold. Just taking the lid off, so I'm just going to. So it's just been frozen overnight. It's best to use for, like, if you want it really sweet, to use some ripe bananas. So, okay, so I'm just going to push next. Then it's asking to insert the mixing bowl lid. I didn't put my MC in. Okay, and we're just going to turn the speed dial to 8 for 15 seconds. 1, 15 seconds. Okay, so next, at this point in time, we're going to scrape down the bowl, and we can make just plain ice cream or nice cream, but let's spice it up a bit. There's also, I made some nut butter earlier, so this is actually made from mixed nuts, and the recipe says in the notes you can make a peanut butter or a nut flavored ice cream. And it just says to add a tablespoon of your nut butter. So this is mixed nut. My first time making mixed nut butter. You normally do cashew. And just to make it really yum, we're just going to add some chocolate. So now we're going to have chocolate nut ice cream. And now we're just going to go for 1 minute. So in that minute, I don't know if you can hear me over the mixing, but in our basic cookbook, you'll see lots of ice cream. Now this is Fruity Dream. Now the Fruity Dream is just a matter of having 500 grams of frozen berries or watermelon or some sort of fruit in your freezer, and you can add an egg white or no egg white or banana and just blend it up. And we can also do sorbets. So in summer, sorbets are beautiful with lemons or watermelons, strawberries. And you don't even have to peel the strawberries. You can put the strawberries in whole and it'll blitz it down and make the most beautiful sorbet. And if you want to get more technical, you can, make your chocolate ice creams using all your milks and creams and things like that. There's Vanilla ice cream, we all love it when Laura makes her vanilla ice cream and brings it along to the meetings. So that's been our minute. So I'll just give that, where's my spatula here? I should have just mixed that down a bit before I did that, because my nuts and things stayed on top. So you can see how it's a little bit soft. So you can firm it up in the fridge if you like to, but I actually like it like this. And I've got my bowl here. I've got my thermoserver to put my ice cream back in. So if I wanted to take this to the table and everyone can help themselves, that's what we can do. And then I'm going to take my beautiful ice cream server from my toolkit, and I'm going to make some scoops, and I'm just going to put it into my. So if this was a bit, like if we wanted to make this firmer, we just put it into the freezer, back into the freezer for a little bit, and then there we go. And now all I need is a nice spoon, and I can tell you how yum this is just by going, It is so delicious, so easy, so quick, 100% natural, no added sugar. I mean, we can add sugar, we can add honey or syrups if you like, if you need to be sweeter, but I'm telling you, this is so yum, just like that. Back to you, Laura.
That looks delicious. It looks perfect. I like it soft like that as well. I wouldn't want it any firmer. So, all right, thank you so much. So just a few things to let everyone know. If for anyone who doesn't yet have a Thermomix, there is a promotion in May. For anyone who wants to invest in a Thermomix, you can also get, I don't have it here to show you, 6 bottles of wine. There's 3 reds and 3 whites from the beautiful Lewin Estate in the Margaret River, WA, family-owned winery over there. If you're not into wine, there is another option. There's option B to get 2 of our mini thermoservers. They're 500 mils, aren't they cute? And our vegetarian recipe book as well. So that's the main promotions. We do have 24 months interest free on, which works out less than $24 a week to have your Thermomix. So if you want to know how you could personally save at least $24 a week by having a Thermomix, get in touch with myself or your consultant, and we can tell you how and help you personalize those savings to your family. If you have other questions, I'm going to send an email tomorrow. If you have other questions, feel free to reply or get in touch with your consultant. We're always happy to help. But what I wanted to do now, for anyone who does want to stay on, we've taken an hour and 15, which was kind of our goal. If anyone wants to stay on, I just was going to show you a quick little cookie dough tutorial, about 5 minutes-ish, maybe a little bit longer. But in case anyone is wanting to jump off before we do the cookie dough, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your comments and questions in the chat. I really hope you've enjoyed the evening, and a special big thank you to all the consultants in our team. We do love working with each other. We're always having a lot of fun, a bit of a laugh as well. But yeah, just thank you so much. And I hope I haven't forgotten anything. So if I have, please just reply to my email tomorrow. So what I'm going to do now for anyone staying on is share my cookie dough screen. Can someone tell me if you can't see this? I'm scrolling it up and down. Is that okay? Because last time my cookie dough was frozen and it didn't work. Okay, we're good. So this is cookie dough. It's when you buy a Thermomix, it comes with 6 months free subscription to this recipe platform. It's on your Thermomix, as Nadia showed you, and it's an app and it's a website, it's whatever. So it's got like 55,000 recipes. So what you do is just come in and type, if you already know what you want to make, like, what do you want to make? Why was this the first thing that came to my head? If you already know what you want to make, just type it in and the recipe options will come up. If you don't know what you want to make, but you have an ingredient you're wanting to use, like pumpkin, you just type that in and anything with pumpkin comes up. If you really, really don't know what you want to cook and you just want inspiration, you can browse on the front page. There's a browsing section. You can see what's new and what's trending, but also you can just come in here and type tag words like quick, like say you're in a hurry. And the quick recipes all come up. So you can see some, oh, that's what we made tonight. Yeah, all your options will come up. If you're looking for something more gourmet, you can type in gourmet and those recipes will come up. Yeah, so you can type in whatever. If you have someone with an intolerance, you could type gluten-free and all the gluten-free recipes will come up. So yeah, the search is actually really clever, and even with a typo here or there, it still seems to pick up what you're talking about. So let me show you now the filters, because this is important to know. If I go into these filters, I can choose category. So for example, when I typed in pumpkin, I saw pumpkin breads coming up, but if I wanted it just to be dinner, I could come here and tick the main dish options. Or vice versa. If you wanted it to be a baking sweet recipe, you'd tick that. So there's categories. You can search for ingredients or tags. Tags are like, these are some examples that have come up. You can type in just anything you can think of. It will usually come up. Difficulty, time. The main one I love to show is right down the bottom. If you don't tick any filters, the default is the Australian head office created recipes. So you can untick Australia. I'm going to tick English first. Tick English because I only speak English, and I'm going to untick Australia. And now I've got a whole heap more options that have come up. So if I type risotto now, I've got 108 different risottos that have come up. Whereas if I had it in the Australian, it would only have been 30 different risottos. So yeah, so that's great. If you don't care that it's in English, untick that, and we've got 1,000 different risottos. And then you're needing to use a translate app or Google Chrome to help you translate some of the recipes if they're not in English. So that's how you use your filters. Now, once you've found a recipe you want to make, where's one that I would want to make? I'm trying to find one in English. I better turn that back on because I want to show you something else really cool. Okay, oh, risotto verde, I like that one. So I'm going to press these 3 dots, and you can choose to cook it today. You could bookmark it, add it to a collection, and I'll show you what that looks like. When you add to collection, these are some collections I've already got created here. If you didn't have any created or you wanted to create another one, just up the top, press create collection. And they will come onto your Thermomix and in those folders, really easy to find. The other option is to add it to your week. So you can, let me put that in for tomorrow. I might just do that. And the other option is to add to your shopping list. So let me show you that. So you can come in here to my week. I'm up the top now, hopefully you're following. These are the dishes I cooked tonight. I've put risotto in for tomorrow. And here's my shopping list down the bottom. I'm going to press open. And it's taking a second. Maybe I didn't click it. Oh, there it is. So I've got it defaulted to go by category. So it's taken any recipe you've got for your week or that you've added to your shopping list. It's broken it all out of recipes and then put them back together in categories so that while you're walking down the aisles of your supermarket, it's all categorized together, all your dairies together, your frozen, your meat, your spices, your veggies, so that when you are shopping, it's super easy. Come here first. Before you leave, you can look in your pantry and say, yeah, I've already got water. I've always got some wine. I've got my rice. So you just tick off what you've already got. I don't have pancetta, so I'll leave it on my list. And you just do that before you go. And then as you're putting your items in the trolley, that's when you tick it off again, so that by the end of your shop, your whole list should be empty and it's been a really easy shopping experience. Now you can also share this with someone, so you could text or email or print it as well. So there's those options from your shopping list. So this weekly planner and shopping list is just so great for making sure you don't waste food, but also it will help save you so much time in your week. When you already have planned what you want to cook, it just makes it that much quicker when the time comes and you know you've got the ingredients because you did that shop with the shopping list. So that's Cookie Doo. Yeah, and if you browse through, you can see lots of different recipes. They are adding new recipes every single month. So ongoing, oh, that's what I forgot to say. Ongoing, it is $49 a year, so less than $1 a week to subscribe to your Cookie Doo. And so when you first get your Thermomix, I would say use it as much as you can and decide whether it's going to be worth it for you to keep subscribing. Most people do, but some people don't. You can still use your Thermomix on manual mode without having to use Cookie Doo. It's just, I think it's awesome. So that's Cookie Doo. If anyone has any questions about anything, write it in the chat, or you can feel free to come off mute now to ask us. Some of us consultants can just stay on, or I can stay on and see if anyone has any other questions. Otherwise, that's the end of our evening. And if you're wanting to share your love of the Thermomix with anyone else, please talk to your consultant about hosting a cooking experience. There are great rewards, but it helps us share the Thermo love with everyone out in the community, because this is the only way we can get it out is through all of us sharing it in the community. And thank you for your comments in the chat saying thank you. It's very nice to know that we're not just cooking to an empty kitchen.